Good morning, everybody. Today I have a message for you. Um, it's about narcissistic abuse recovery, and I want to relate it to a cosmic phenomenon. Um, and I want to speak about entropy and sunlight. So, it's a fact that low entropy sunlight, which is high grade energy, is coming as a cosmic stream, beautifully bathing our planet into a stream of energy. And life forms use this sunlight to power their own life, their organism. In this process, the sunlight does not disappear, but it becomes, you could say, fragmented or high in entropy. The planet Earth, at the end of the day, when it's still glowing and the day is done, and the parrots and the monkeys sing in the jungle, and the red Earth is still glowing and reflecting the heat back into cold space, then this light has done its purpose. It's deeply satisfied, but has been used out and is reflected. If planet Earth would not reflect back as much energy as it would take from the sun, it would heat up and burn. So, in other words, low entropy sunlight with this divine quality penetrates the atmosphere and comes in, and life absorbs it in a sacred act. And the same amount of sunlight we reflect, not deflect, we reflect it after it has been used as high entropy light, which is fragmented, you could say. So, now how does this relate to narcissistic abuse? You could say the sunlight that the planet reflects after it has been used is also dissonant. It's cognitively dissonant. Okay. So narcissistic abuse creates cognitive dissonance, as we know. But to understand why and how the cycle works, you need to understand that the narcissist enters the world and a relationship in a default cognitive dissonant state, because the narcissist has a grandiose sense of self, but reality tells them different. Reality tells them they are not grandiose, they are not omnipotent, and they are not omniscient, they are not gods. They might have bad object introjects, which inform them that they are unlovable, incapable, dysfunctional, etc., etc. So there is a huge grandiosity gap, which means the narcissist has a cognitive dissonance because his fantasy and sense of self, the false self, is not rooted in reality. Reality is different. Therefore, there is a huge gap, which is the reason of all the turmoil and contradiction in narcissists' lives, but it also is the reason for the cognitive dissonance of the narcissist. Now, what they need is low entropy sunlight, and this is the target, the victim of the narcissist, a person that is not fragmented, that has healthy motivation to live, not in abusive ways, not in parasitic ways, not in predatory ways, but in honest ways and in pure ways. So an innocent, good person, really, which is the same as low entropy, clear, unfragmented, high grade supply. And the narcissist is addicted to this supply. The narcissist's supply, the victim, the target, like back in the days, slave masters were narcissistic abusers, and the slaves they chose were superior to them because they lived a self-sustaining, happy life. But the colonialistic slave masters took these people who were stronger than them because they were dependent on them, addicted to them, they needed them. The same as in narcissistic abuse. The narcissist is addicted to his supply, and the victim is superior to the narcissist because they are rooted in reality and they are that low entropy sunlight, just like slaves. The slaves that has been taken by colonialists, they are superior to the colonialists in every way except in betrayal, abuse, and false power. Now, you see, a slave master needs to be grandiose and needs to have no moral core and no identity core. So they put on a face, a facade, and they need to be have a grandiose sense of self. Otherwise, they couldn't do it. It's a lot of similar to narcissistic abuse. Now, the cognitive dissonance of the narcissist has to be projected on the victim, meaning the narcissist tries to outsource his cognitive dissonance. How do they do this? They immerse the victim into their shared fantasy. They enmesh the victim in the shared fantasy, which is the physical space around the narcissist, who can only act based on introject constancy, meaning it's a little bit complicated, this term, don't be alienated by it, please. It just means the narcissist lives in a delusional fantasy and internalizes you as an object that is either idealized or devalued, but it's not you, never you. So first they idealize you probably to get you into their game, and then they devalue you in order to outsource their own negative self-esteem to you. The narcissist has low self-esteem and insecurity, but compensates for it through their grandiose self, and in the process of devaluing you, which is an object, they don't interact with you, but with their fantasy. They interact with their fantasy. This is why they devalue you. Then they need to stonewall you. They will be very frustrated if you don't act the same way as they fantasize. And this will put back the cognitive dissonance to them, by the way. Therefore, they need to get rid of you. So this means your sense of reality gets distorted because there is a person with a malignant fantasy acting based on the malignant fantasy. And when this person is immersed in a cult, maybe enabled or empowered by psychopath and codependent flying monkeys, or vulnerable targets like children who are afraid of the rageful outbursts and the infantile behavior of this impotent narcissistic abuser. This means that there is a group of people who now acts based on the malignant shared fantasy, and this creates more cognitive dissonance for you because it's not reality, but you believe in reality, you're rooted in reality. And then when the cult acts based on that, people are coming to the cult as visitors, and they are also now exposed to this collective malignant shared fantasy, and they will carry it outside. This can go to the degree that the identity disturbance and the false self, this malignant shared fantasy, gets even projected into institutions, official institutions, and into further friend circles and relations in the public, which creates even more cognitive dissonance for you, because now you believe the whole world has gone crazy. All of them fall for the same grandiose projection of a delusional fantasy. So this is the reason why I also came up, by the way, I have different concepts. I came up with the concept of competitive cognitive dissonance. In this case, I also have a concept of competitive villainhood, because narcissists will also try to increase your cognitive dissonance by by competitive victimhood mentality, meaning you feel like a victim, by the narcissist is more of a victim if necessary, so they compete about victimhood. Therefore, I suggest competitive villainhood, to not play the game with them. But the competitive cognitive dissonance means either the narcissist is suffering from his cognitive dissonance because he is confronted with reality, with you, with the truth, or everybody believes is willfully blind to reality and rather likes to accept the comfortable lie, the malignant shared fantasy. Therefore, you are in the cognitive dissonance. The paradox now is that you can resolve it only by not playing the game anymore and just ignoring what is happening, meaning you detach yourself completely from this. So the paradox in this is you win a competition by not competing. This is a problem for many victims. But in this case, I just want to show that there is this connection. Either everybody believes and validates the shared fantasy, meaning the narcissist seems stable because they get sadistic supply and ego elation, inflation. The false self is thriving, the dragon is growing, or the narcissist is confronted with reality, with legal measures, with diagnosis, with medical treatment, with people with functioning reality testing and boundaries, is held accountable. Victims speaking out and saying, this person has abused me, we suffer from him. All of this is reality. And this will let the victim trust their own reality, because this is reality. But therefore the narcissist will crumble, have a deep narcissistic injury, narcissistic depletion. He will implode, because the cognitive dissonance that he has outsourced now swallows him up and is bigger than ever before. So yeah, I just wanted to share this small message with you, because I see the similarity to entropy, high entropy on the narcissistic side, and low entropy on the side of a person that is not fragmented, that is very clear, that is rooted in reality, awareness, consciousness, compared to the chaotic life and the fantastic life of the narcissist, who thrives of the clarity and simplicity of people with a personality core and a clear side of reality. Thanks, you'll see you in the next video.